Hi, I'm Valerie Luther with Creative Concepts, and we're here for the Business Smart Tools Conference video series. And we're featuring somebody today who's fabulous and smart and bright and knows all sorts of stuff about social media for business, and that's Kathy Taylor.
Hi, good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Welcome to my home in Pelham.
Thank you.
I started out working in the traditional advertising business a long time ago, before there was digital anything. And then eventually I started to cover the internet and what was then interactive TV services and stuff like that in the mid-1990s. We all have our blogs and stuff like that, but we also engage with each other on Twitter. And something that people who work from home can understand is that it's the virtual water cooler. You don't have that whole interaction about how the Mets did or what show you watched last night when you're working from home. And Twitter is the most efficient way to have that kind of interaction. So that's why Twitter kind of caught hold with me. I have just read the book by Charlene Lee and Josh Bernoff called Groundswell for something I'm writing. And one thing that really hit home from that book that I kind of felt, but now I really feel it, is the importance first of listening. And that's hard for a lot of corporations to do because they're used to talking and not listening. And there have been so many cases where companies have not listened and they've just sort of gone about their business and they're not really paying attention to something really important that their customer base is trying to tell them. Not that it's easy. I mean, the thing is that it's a mindset change. It's not just a technological. I actually think the trend is going to be, for the near term, that most companies get involved with social media when there's a crisis. It's the Dell model. I may be very skeptical, but I always feel that corporate America or global corporate world is very slow to adapt. I mean, they still haven't really adapted to the basics of online media by and large, so social media is kind of beyond their ken. People are going to talk about you, whether you're part of the conversation or not. So it's up to the corporations to figure out what the appropriate venue is for them. And that's another thing that I think a lot of corporations have to learn is what is appropriate. I mean, maybe listening is all that's appropriate. Maybe you should have a corporate blog if you have something to say. Maybe you should do what Comcast has done with this guy who's on Twitter and solves people's Comcast complaints. These are things that a lot of corporations could be doing, and I think most of them are just kind of like deer caught in the headlights. They just don't know where to begin. Just let the conversation happen. Also, I think that corporations don't realize that consumers really value honesty. And if you're making an honest effort to interact with them and an honest effort to answer their complaints, that will go such a long way in terms of your credibility and will also sort of blunt the sword of people who would keep trying to cut you down.